Hello and welcome to SideQuests. I'm Kirk Reinhold. This is an offshoot of our Off the Record podcast. We'll be doing it whenever we can in between main podcast episodes, and these ones are going to be shorter, bite-sized pieces for you guys to enjoy. I'm here with Oliver. How you doing?
I'm Oliver, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk with you guys about our topic, and I want to introduce Judah, who's going to introduce our topic, and I'm excited for what we're going to talk about.
Yeah? You're excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Well, I'm Judah Coley. How am I doing? Did you ask that?
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So, this month's side quest, I guess you could say, because this is going to be monthly in between episodes, right?
Right.
So, this month's side quest, we're going to be talking about trailers for upcoming media projects in 2025. So, we're looking at movies. I think we have a TV show, and then we're looking at comic as well. So we have three different types of trailers. We're doing over 6 trailers total. So I'm going to bring up the first trailer that we all watched, which was the Mickey 17 trailer. This Mickey 17 movie is coming out March 7th. It's directed by Bong Joon-ho and stars Robert Pattinson, Stephen Yeun, Michael Monroe, and who's the guy that plays the Hulk? What's his name? Mark Ruffalo.
Yes.
Mark Ruffalo. What were y'all's initial thoughts? I'm going to start with Kirk on this. What did you think about this trailer for this project?
Well, when the opening shot was of something in space, I was immediately very excited.
Oh, yeah.
But then the premise of it was really interesting, like just dying and then like bring back and then dying, and it's like, yeah, this is normal. Really interesting. I'm excited to see what that's gonna fully be realized as.
Yeah. Oliver, what did you think of that trailer?
I was more focused on like the actors involved. Robert Pattinson, he started off in basically a B movie, which is Twilight, making out with some white girl, and that was basically his role. I guess being a wolf or whatever. Sometimes he wasn't a wolf; he was a vampire. But
have you seen Twilight?
No. But I've seen The Lighthouse, which is like
The Lighthouse is good.
one of his debuts in like an art sort of art house film.
I'm a little
Really
disappointed by how much you know about Twilight.
Yeah, that's kind of scary to us.
I just talked about how he was a vampire and how he makes up. That's basically Twilight.
That's more than I knew about.
Yeah, I did not know what Twilight was at all.
Seriously?
Yeah, like I had zero clue whatsoever.
Okay,
We should
never
probably
mind.
watch it sometime, honestly.
I'm gonna pass.
We're gonna watch it.
No.
Now I'm
we're
dead
not.
set on
No, we're not.
watching it.
No, we're not.
Okay, but Mickey 17, really creative. I think Robert Pattinson can play some surprisingly dynamic roles.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Just his role as Mickey 11 and 17
And
and
1.
18 and
And
1
all of the numbers.
and every number in between.
Oh yeah,
And also the cool sci-fi monsters. It kind of reminded me of a video game.
it did. It
Like,
had quite
it-
a premise.
It straight up played. I think it was What a Kick in the Head.
Yeah.
Um,
Fallout.
it's not Fallout, but
It's Fallout.
But
It's
it
kinda
was
Fallout.
used in Fallout,
It was used in Fallout.
New Vegas.
We
as,
both know this.
um,
We are big Fallout fans, Oliver and I.
Yeah, as one of the main songs that you listen to on the radio. So I think there is sort of a reference to pop culture, video games, and obviously that just tied into the fact that Mickey is a guy who dies and resurrects again, just like our characters, because we suck at video games, so we constantly die.
This is
and
fact.
resurrect.
It is a lot like a video game.
It is. I like this. It's based on. It's weird. I looked up what it was based on. It's based on Mickey 7. So apparently in the novel that it's based on, there are only 7. He only dies 7 times before he is duplicated.
Oh, that sounds a little boring.
Yeah, it's not boring. He only dies 7 times. Oh, that's crazy.
7's the number of completion.
Yeah, so he's expendable, and so they basically just send him to do what no one wants to do, which is just pretty fun. No, I think this is interesting. I think it's gonna be maybe a fun ride. We may go see this. Seems like a fun, big budget blockbuster movie to go see, and it's got an interesting premise. And we're all sci-fi nerds here, so we are quite. I think the takeaway is that looks interesting, and we're probably excited to go see Mickey 17. What it's gonna be about. Looks fun. Also, I love that Mark Ruffalo, who complains about our good president Donald Trump quite often, is playing what appears to be some kind of high up governmental overreaching figure. I love the irony of that.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Kirk, is this correct? You have our second trailer?
I do. The second trailer is Jurassic World Rebirth, the movie nobody asked for and nobody wanted. It seems like it's going to be certainly one of the films of all time. It seems like it is certainly going to have dinosaurs.
Yes.
And it certainly seems like there will be death, which
you're a big fan.
I guess it has the basic points needed for a Jurassic movie, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very excited about it because it's been told a million times, and it's only gotten worse every time.
This is fact.
I actually, contrary to popular opinion, at least in my circles, I actually really liked the first Jurassic World movie. And I also haven't seen.
Judging you right
I know. I haven't seen the Jurassic Park movies.
Really?
I have not.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like I did enjoy the Jurassic World movies, but it was more of an action-y movie instead of a thriller like the original one is.
And it's also kind of like, it reminds me of my childhood. When we lived in Tennessee, we went to a drive-in movie theater double showing, and Jurassic World was one of the movies.
Ooh.
And so, you know, it takes me back to like how long ago that was, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a little nostalgia tinge.
Yeah, so I've always liked the original one than the original Jurassic World. The next ones that came out, like each one of them was successively worse, but I like Chris Pratt, so I kept going to see him.
That's fair. Chris Pratt's a good actor.
But
anyways,
go Oliver, you had.
I feel like this is going to be a sort of reinterpretation of Jurassic Park 3, because Jurassic Park 3 was about this group of people stranded.
Was that the Alan one where the dinosaur speaks to him while he's in his sleep?
Actually,
okay, this is really
specific.
So.
I think
you think so.
I have not watched it in a while.
Alan.
It's a Velociraptor.
Yeah, Velociraptor. Just for Kirk, who has not seen any Jurassic Park movies, we're disappointed in you, son.
I know.
He's just on a plane to, I guess, the island.
Yeah, dude.
And he falls asleep, and there's just a Velociraptor sitting next to him, and starts speaking. He goes, Alan!
What?
Like in a really high-pitched voice. It's very funny. It's completely out of context. Sounds weird. It is very weird. Quite strange. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Jurassic Park 3, Alan. He's on a plane, he has a bad dream about a Velociraptor talking to him. It's funny. But yeah, they get stranded, and I think, and then they gotta fight the dinosaurs. They just gotta, the dinosaurs are just monsters in Jurassic Park 3, and I remember vividly how me and my buddy Douglas would watch this movie, and he is an avid, how do you say somebody who researches dinosaurs? Dinosaurologist. I don't know.
That's probably
But he's really into dinosaurs. I mean, we were kids, so...
Who wasn't into dinosaurs?
Me. I was into space.
Prior to that,
skirt.
we watched that one TV show. I totally forgot that sort of represents, like, that was kind of like a documentary about dinosaurs. It wasn't Walking with Dinosaurs, but it was something like that.
I know what you're talking about. Hold up.
But like it's sort of like we're in the foot of an Australian style outback safari where we're in the Cretaceous period or somewhere, and we're just encountering dinosaurs everywhere.
Talking about Godzilla?
No.
Sorry, I'm looking this up.
Where we're essentially I think it is Walking with Dinosaurs actually.
Is it Planet Dinosaur?
It's Walking with Dinosaurs.
Walking with Dinosaurs from 1999.
Yeah, and somehow the cameraman and the safari ranger always escape the grasp and the jaws of the dinosaurs. But in Jurassic Park 3, it's they make it seem like the dinosaurs are just blind and deaf monsters that want to eat you constantly.
Do they want to eat you?
I don't know. I don't think humans taste good.
How would you know?
Yeah, have you tried?
Well, actually, predators in sub-Saharan Africa, they've lived with African tribals for a long time, and they try to avoid them either just because the African tribals will freaking kill them, but also because they have no meat on them and they're not tasty at all.
Yeah,
they're not like the big herbivore creatures.
I think this is a little off topic.
But yeah, that is off topic. But yeah, my idea is that this new Jurassic World movie is sort of reinterpretation of Jurassic Park 3.
So my interesting takeaway from the trailer is probably the interesting takeaway a lot of people have, which is early in the trailer it says, or one of the guys says, that nobody else is dumb enough to go. And so, of course, they bring their children along. Because that seems like the perfectly reasonable thing to do.
Because if you're going to be dumb...
Well, the thing is, children are dumb.
I think that the idea
wrong.
is that they're just trying to create stakes later in the movie, and they have to sort of try to justify it early on, but they're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, oh, nobody's dumb enough to go, but we're so cocky that we're going to bring our children anyway. And it's, I think, lazy writing, which this is Jurassic World we're talking about.
So we're not expecting, like, Oscar-worthy writing or performances.
Yeah. Well...
Or action, or effects, or anything.
I would like to see a lot of, blood and gore and explosions and stuff, just because, I mean, if everything else is going to suck, at least give me that.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't expect all that much.
So, this is coming out in July, right? And that's, like, right in between Superman and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so the IMDb page says post-production expected July 2nd. I don't know if that's post-production ends July 2nd, or... it'll be ready and in theaters July 2nd, but sometime in July, the trailer says.
Yeah, so I don't think this is going to do well.
This movie just looks lazy.
It does.
Yeah. Treat the dinosaurs as monsters.
Yeah. It's going to be caught in between a bunch of other films that people are much more likely to go see.
Oh,
so
yes.
it's probably not going to
get
do
into
very
this a
well.
little later, too.
Yeah. Well, actually, we definitely will.
Well, we definitely will. We know this for a fact.
We know the trailers that we're going to do. We're not just pulling it out of our...
somewhere.
rectums.
Of course, Kirk. Of course. So, that was Jurassic World. What was it called? It's called Jurassic World Rebirth. Oliver, I think you have our third trailer.
The trailer is House of David. It's a show. It's a show coming out on Amazon Prime in like the end of February. So like 20 days today when we go on our trip.
Mm-hmm.
And it's written by John Irwin and John Gunn, who both also direct it, and Nathan Andrew Jacobs. And I looked at Nathan Andrew Jacobs, and he seems to have quite the repertoire of philosophy and fine arts work in the academic field and stuff like that. But I was really interested in that because I think we are all profoundly influenced by the Bible, by the stories of King David and Saul and the prophets later on, the Chronicles and the Kings. And I think this looks like a cool interpretation of that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Who are you asking?
Y'all's thoughts.
I think that this can go in about 3 ways. One way is it's heresy. Which,
I mean, when you're adapting scripture into film or a book or whatever, that's always an option.
Okay.
Yep.
I failed to mention this, but the director is there from Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, so they might be pretty conservative.
I mean, a little Baptist. We'll
Sweet
see.
home Alabama.
We'll see.
There might be some cousin love in there.
I mean, it kind of goes together. Baptists are a little bit more legalist, and that was a little bit more of a legalist time, so who knows?
A little bit.
But yeah, it could be heresy. It could be that it's just like a totally mediocre film. It just like barely does its job of telling the story like correctly, but like they don't try to like get anybody like any meaning out of it. They don't want you to leave the theaters with any like profound discoveries or anything. They just want to make some money.
Yeah.
Or the third option is it's really good. It actually adapts the scriptures into film, I guess, into a show well. Which I was actually surprised when we were watching the trailer that it was a show and not a movie. It kind of seemed more like it was supposed to be a movie.
Seemed kind of compressed.
Yeah. Which could be a bad thing, or it could just be very creative trailer work.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could actually do a really good job with it, and people leave the theater like, wow, that's a really good story. I'm going to go read my Bible. Which, of course, is what we're all going to be hoping is the case. But I'm not exactly confident in that.
Yeah. I think it surprised me because it looked pretty good, which is, like, for anything that's adapted scripture, whether it did it in a good way or a bad way. We haven't had stuff outside of probably The Chosen that looked good on film and was visually pleasing to watch. And this looked aesthetically good. There were some cool shots of action, though I don't know how realistic that was for the time. But, like, it looked pretty decent. I'm kind of excited for this. Tentatively, it could be, as Kirk was saying, heresy, which, we don't wish on it or wish that it is. But it could be good. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the aesthetics. I felt like it didn't try to be too glamorous. It looks like 10th BC Levant, sort of. Ancient Israel, just by the fact
I
that...
have no idea what you just said. I'm going to look that up real fast. How do you spell that?
Levant.
You know what this is?
The Levant is just the Middle East.
The Fertile Crescent.
Yeah.
Am I stupid? Is this like a common knowledge thing?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I like half of the people, if we ask at UGA, would say, "What the heck's a Levant?" All I know is...
Well, I'm not at UGA, so...
You mean Israel?
Yeah, Levant, basically, colloquially Middle East.
No, I see.
I didn't ever really imagine, like, the first king of Israel was going to be in a huge palace. He was going to be in a quite ornate tent like you'd see early on with the people of Israel and God being present amongst them during their sojourn in the Sinai Peninsula. So, there's that point. And also King David, he looks like a tiny little man. And Goliath is huge.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's accurate.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Good job getting somebody scrawny, and good job not getting somebody scrawny who is, what's his name from Dune?
There's
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
Not making him the Muad'Dib.
I'm really glad
Duke
that.
of Arrakis.
I'm really glad that they.
Atreides.
I'm really glad that they weren't like, oh, we need a skinny white boy. I know who.
Also, I'm looking forward to how they explore the relationship between David and Jonathan.
Oh yeah, that's a big oof. Like, it could be really good, and it could be like brotherly friendship, or it could be literally gay, and that could be problematic.
Yeah,
very problematic.
Yeah, I think we saw a hint of that though in the trailer.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
And do you know the prophet Samuel's role in the David
Have you
story?
read Samuel? You know,
I've read it once.
You've read Samuel once. Okay, so Samuel anoints David king when after Saul is does not follow God's orders, and his title is basically revoked by God and not the people, and so God anoints a new king through Samuel. That is David. That's what his role is. Yeah, and he's kind of a mentor and a guide to David.
We need a father figure like that.
Yeah, we do.
We need a great dude named Samuel.
A great dude.
Who'll help us with our lives.
Great
Give us a
dude
small
Samuel.
loan of $1 million, small loan of a kingdom.
Yeah, that was a good trailer. Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 more trailers that we're gonna quickly go watch so that we can get them refresh our minds, and then we will bring them to you guys and give you our thoughts that you definitely asked for.
Oh yeah. All right, we took a little break. We just watched our next 3 trailers, and we're gonna get right into them. And I'm starting us off yet again. We got another different kind of trailer. We have Batman Hush 2, which I got in trouble because I wanted to say Hatushi.
And I said that nobody would know what you mean.
Yes, this is true, but also I don't think Hatushi is fun to say. So it's called Batman Hush 2. I'm gonna call it Hatushi from here on out. I did my due diligence.
Okay.
Anyway. This run in the Batman comics is a sequel to follow up to Batman Hush from 2002 to 2003, which is one of the best-selling, not just Batman comics, but comics overall, which was written by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. No, not Tim Sale. What's wrong with me? I say that so many times. Written by Jeff Loeb with art by Jim Lee. I can't believe I got that wrong. I should know that. All right, so... This is basically it's one of the 3 what I would call 21st century attempts at making a Batman villain in Hush, and it's the first Hush story, very high selling. It's all right in my opinion. I know you guys have not read this. I presume that you don't know what this is or have not read this. So it's just basically like Batman's childhood best friend turns out to be a villain, which they definitely haven't done a bunch of times. He definitely doesn't have like 50 childhood best friends who all secretly turn out to be supervillains. That's not a thing at all, you know.
I didn't realize people could have 50 childhood best friends.
Yeah.
But isn't that like real life though?
Is your childhood best friend a supervillain? Is he like sticking up banks and murdering women? Like
Murdering women?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You're not sure? Like he could? It's possible?
I mean, I don't know, but like I feel like there's just a couple friends who fall off every now and then.
I get that.
They fell off.
Well, Hatushi, or Batman Hush 2, is starting in Batman issue 158 on March 26th. What do you guys think, and what do you get out of this from the trailer? I'm going to start with Oliver this time.
I've only read Batman's Long Halloween, written by I think think Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb
Yeah.
authored that. And that was a great movie. It was
Movie?
comic book. Okay, it felt like a movie.
It was cinematic.
It had a great story arc, and it's a lot more, I guess, dense in some sense than your average Batman movie, just because of the number of characters that are happening. It engages the Falcones, the Romans, the Joker, Calendar Man, a bunch of characters coalesce into this one comic book compared to like your Christopher Nolan Batman, where it's just Batman versus one guy, and it's Batman's spiritual journey. But this new comic book, I haven't seen the newer Batmans. I think Judah has a lot more to say.
I mean, I do.
But I mean, I'd like to hear about how you'd compare the Long Halloween to like modern day Batman and
Hatoshi,
as you call it.
Well, I think Long Halloween is... Jeff Loeb can write a good mystery, and The Long Halloween is that, and so is Dark Victory and a couple of other Batman works. But Hush was... You had two big names. Jeff Loeb is a very famous, notable comic writer. Jim Lee is one of the most iconic comic artists of all time, and so that's why it sold. The story of Hush was... like I said, it's kind of derivative and had been done before. Not that it wasn't well written. Like, it was well written. It was just kind of a bunch of tropes. So I'm interested to and I'm kind of hoping that this is not going to be just more tropes. I'm hoping that this is going to be interesting and build off of some of the stuff that Zdarsky did in his Batman run, and build off some of the stuff that's happening in Detective Comics under Tom Taylor. Because it's like, we've entered, in my opinion, since 2019, DC has not been very good with their publishing line, and comics have just kind of been like, there'll be a hit every once in a while, but it's just overall it's been kind of sucky. But with the all-in stuff, it's been like very high quality stuff coming out of DC, and so I hope that this continues that, because it's kind of sad that it brought in the Zdarsky one, I can't speak English, the Zdarsky run, which was really good. Kirk, I'm gonna go back to you. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it looks pretty interesting. I have only read the one comic you gave to me, the All-Star Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only comic I've actually read, and that was pretty recently, so
yeah,
I don't really know much about comics to make any sort of claim.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next trailer, I believe. Mercury?
Yes. I have Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm excited for it because
Subtitle this.
Yes. I'm excited for it because I am always going to hold out hope that Marvel is actually going to put something out good. I have been proven wrong basically every time I've said that since Endgame, but, let me be in my La La Land.
This looks good, though.
The trailer, though, does look pretty good.
It does.
We've got Galactus.
We do.
We've got...
Homeboy. He's literally me.
We've got a bunch of destruction. We have, the titular Fantastic Four pretty good. I mean, the suit design is.
Yeah, I like the suit design.
Very, very accurate. It's the design for what's the rock guy?
The Thing.
The Thing.
The Thing.
I was gonna say the Man Thing, but then I was like, wait, no, that's not.
That's a Swamp Thing. The Man Thing and the Swamp Thing, two different comic companies look exactly the same. Anyway, back to you.
The Thing, that is a rock, is...
Not the movie The Thing.
Really? There's so many things. Why do people call it The Thing? That's not helpful. The Thing is...
Ben Grimm.
Really? Yeah, Ben. That's a good way of saying it. Ben Grimm, design, so good.
It was the best looking one we've seen.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
They outdid themselves. As long as it's for the whole movie and they didn't, just up it for the trailer, which... It's been known to happen.
Yeah.
And I like the premise. Well, first of all, I like it's in a separate universe from all the Marvel stuff, so they can do what they want there without being held to it. But they're looking for a Secret Wars storyline in the future, and so this will build up to it, and eventually it'll all come together.
Yeah.
I like that it's set in the 60s as well.
Dude, that 60s futuristic aesthetic, I vibe with that really hard.
Yeah.
It
It
looks...
And it's so much more comic accurate.
Yeah, and it looks good.
Yeah.
It's a stylization of it, not making it some just drab modern aesthetic. I love that stylization.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So I think it could be good.
Yeah.
It's also not doing an origin story.
No, which is a good thing.
Because
We need to
in
stop
the
those.
trailers, they're basically showing, like, yes, we have already gone to space, we've already got these powers, like, that's done, we're superheroes already. Nobody needs to hear that for the millionth time. There's already been so many remakes of this movie. Everybody knows the Fantastic Four. So you're just going to come into the theater and you're going to say, these guys are the Fantastic Four, these are their powers, we know. You're going to watch the movie and you're going to enjoy it from that baseline. And I really appreciate that because I don't think writers can write...
Origins for the 50,000th time.
I just don't think they can write Origins at all right now.
Well, yeah, they kind of revise them and make them worse.
Yeah.
Turns out that the characters are popular because their original origins are, for the most part, definitive and the best.
Yeah. We need to make new characters to write Origins for. I think that's what the mistake is.
We do. We need to... I have a whole tangent.
Yeah. But getting a origin story for somebody who already has an origin story, like you're digging yourself a hole there.
You are.
And if you just create a new character, which is a lot more work, I know, they'll, you can kind of write the origin however you want, and people aren't going to compare it, because there's nothing to compare it to. So,
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to that place at some point. But
we'll get to that place. I thought it looked really good, I think. I think it's up in the air. I think if this does well, we will definitely see people buying an investment for what Doomsday and Secret Wars? Is that the order? Like, if this does well, because I'm pretty sure these are going to be some of the future characters. Because I could not pull together an Avengers team from any of the post-Endgame projects. Like, I'd maybe pull together like Black Captain America and... Yeah, that's my entire list right there.
Yeah.
So I think they gotta have people buy in to these characters who will probably be the leads of Doomsday and Secret Wars.
For sure.
Did Tony Stark retire after Endgame?
He died. Did you not see Endgame?
Oh yeah, he died.
Did he retire? Yeah, from life.
Did he retire? Yes, from life.
The point you made there is really good, though, that there's not really been any connecting threads to bring things together for Secret Wars since, the
Jonathan Major stuff.
Well, especially that, because that was the direction they were going to go. But even with that, there hadn't been anything yet to bring things together like there was in all of the previous Avenger movies.
Yeah.
Because, we've had Shang-Chi, and that was a good movie. I actually enjoyed Shang-Chi.
I love Shang-Chi.
It doesn't connect to anything else. We had a post-credit scene that has not been expounded on in 3 years?
4 years, dude. 2021. That's
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that one, they haven't connected it in, and so I do expect them to bring him in, but it doesn't storyline work very well because they haven't done anything for it yet. Eternals, right? Yeah. That is supposed to have a tie-in.
It's really bad.
Yes, but it was supposed to have a tie-in so that they could bring things together.
Supposedly,
and they didn't do it.
Captain America: Brave New World is going to bring that in. What are we going to see? We're seeing that on Friday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is after this comes out. We'll probably talk about that on our next episode too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's supposed to. I've heard that's supposed to bring in some of the Eternals and other disparate elements.
Yeah. So I guess we'll keep you updated on that. I have the culture section, so I will. I'll be doing that movie for our culture section in our main podcast.
Yes, we just dropped a juicy hint about what we're going to be talking about next podcast, and everyone is so invested.
Who the heck are the Eternals, though?
All the ancient gods of mythology?
Imagine if they were 5 people.
Like Yahweh?
No, he's real.
I said mythology.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
like mythological.
Like Zeus and
people
Thor,
just write stuff up about him. Like
Hermes.
Like the Gnostics.
What you're mentioning, Judah, is Thor: Love and Thunder.
No, well, also, the Eternals contradicts everything that's set up in the Thor movies.
Like all the less popular.
And also Moon Knight does too.
And also Moon Knight.
Moon Knight was really good.
Moon Knight was great. You need to start reading Moon Knight comics. You're complaining that they haven't done anything with Moon Knight, and you're like, there's no media. That's not true.
No, I'm saying there's no movies or shows, but...
Yeah. You need to read more comic books, son. I'm
just trying to read more in general, so I'll get to comics eventually.
So it's just Eternals is just about all the gods who can't really hold their own ground in terms of modern audience, so they just kind of...
So basically the Eternals are all these weird sentient robot things created by like these celestial elders of the universe.
Yeah, it's
kind
of. You know who helped bring it into the 21st century? Our favorite Neil Gaiman.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm 99% sure that he is responsible for like 2003's Eternals. Hold up.
And if you don't know what we're talking about with Neil Gaiman, watch the first 20 minutes or so of our main Off the Record podcast.
Yes. We went into Neil Gaiman a little bit.
Yeah. But
Eternals by Neil Gaiman.
Interesting. Okay.
Eternals by Neil Gaiman. I'm right.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. He's a cool guy.
No, it's just
Fantastic Four First Steps looks pretty interesting. We're gonna be excited for it because we wish the best in Marvel actually succeeding because they used to be good and we want them to be good in the future.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're gonna walk in with pretty low standards.
Yeah, that's fair.
So our next movie /show /comic, whatever it is,
Trailer.
What is your trailer, Oliver?
Ubermensch.
Say that a little louder.
Superman.
Is he a bird?
Yes.
Is he a plane? No, it's
faster
Superman.
than a train.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive.
Yeah, more powerful than locomotive.
And another thing that we also talked about in our last episode of Off the Record
is Superman.
So if you guys want to hear more about the 5 to 10 minutes we'll be talking about it here, we've got about 30 minutes at the end of our Off the Record.
About Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did not. I did not shut up about Superman.
Yeah.
You guys did talk about Superman just not as much as me.
Well, it's Oliver's turn then for talking about Superman. So,
Oliver, what'd you think?
My heart, these past depressing 22 years of my life has been hardened against Superman. I thought he was a pretty mid hero just because he seemed really on the nose, like your average superhero. But he was the OG.
of course he's on the nose. He's the original.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
All the
That's the
stereotypes
point.
came from him.
But to the modern eyes, even the original can be somewhat dated, just like how ancient writing, well, not the epistles, obviously epistles can last forever.
So are you comparing Superman to
but
the
mythology, no, the ancient mythology,
Odyssey, Iliad, Epic of Gilgamesh.
Epic of Gilgamesh,
our favorites.
They are all really good, actually.
They are.
They're good, but to the modern audience, they might be a little off color.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the modern audience,
He's gay.
yeah, actually, they less intelligent than past generations, I would say.
True.
Yeah, the Tennessee Orange type of person.
Hey. Hey. I'm in the room.
Okay, but you don't.
You're staring directly at me.
Is that the type of person you're into? I mean, woman.
Okay, we're talking about Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get back on topic.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that he keeps it. When you kind of grow up, you can kind of empathize with Superman. The struggle of being a good steward,
Yeah.
a good keeper of the house, or a good shepherd,
A good leader.
of some sort, a good leader.
Yeah. It's all just
very
thrown on him.
Yeah.
It's thrown on him with these superpowers. He could do anything. He could rob banks, but he's Superman.
What
Yeah.
you might say, though, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh, wait.
Relevant. And also, it's kind of funny the trailers you picked, Oliver, because we've talked about this before. There's kind of Davidic parallels with Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's interesting that you picked the House of David trailer and Superman for your
Yeah,
two.
that's true. We kind of saw a parallel between Lex Luthor and Samuel. Not Samuel.
Saul.
Saul.
Yeah.
And
Samuel.
That
doesn't make any sense.
I guess
His dad would probably
guess-
be Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel might be his dad.
Yeah.
Which one?
Superman's dad.
But, which dad?
His
don't
human
know.
dad.
Okay.
Not his alien. I mean, kind of maybe his alien dad. Depends on which version. One of his dads.
Yes.
And not like he
His
has
father
two-
figure.
Yeah. Not like he has two gay dads or anything. Because he doesn't. Both
No.
of his fathers have wives. He has two moms too. Not like a lesbian.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
digging myself into a hole here. Someone help me out.
Oliver, speak.
Anyways, so yeah, I think Superman, even as a warrior and servant of Yahweh, sort of, he sort of has that vibe.
You got a vibe?
He does it, but a lot better.
Well, he has a sense of morality.
Yeah.
He's got
Right.
an incredible sense of morality that I think in of itself is superhuman, and we kind of see that in the trailer, just with the fact that he's willing to deal with any bull crap ever.
Yeah. Giant kaiju monster? That's
Of
all
course,
right.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed a little more annoyed just by the people throwing coffee cups at him.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Dude, I've so there's a comic book called Kingdom Come, and so there's a theory going on. The premise of it is basically there's a new generation of superheroes, and they're violent and they don't have morals and things like that. And Superman has to come out of retirement with the rest of the classic DC superheroes and restore moral order and teach them how to be a hero again. It's really good. That's by Mark Waid with art by Alex Ross, who is just a fantastic artist. But the idea is that it's the opposite. It's like superheroes are an entrenched idea. This is what people are speculating about the movie. Superheroes are an entrenched idea that have become like a marketing, every company has a superhero team, kind of thing. And they don't really care about saving people anymore. And it's more for necessity and not out of, want to do it. And so Superman is the younger generation coming up and stepping back into an older generation position and being okay, we gotta fight for truth, we gotta fight for justice, we gotta protect everyone, kind of vibes. And I really I know that's probably just speculation, right? I hope that that's somehow a theme in this movie, because that would be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kirk, what are your thoughts on it? You haven't spoken a lot about this.
I mean, very intrigued to see what happens with it. I'm excited that it's kind of going to set off a new age of DC, like Iron Man 1 did with Marvel.
Yeah.
I am hopeful. Just like with a lot of the things that we've talked about, I don't have, the highest regard for modern Hollywood or just movie making or show making or, comic writing. Those are three things we've talked about in general. But I don't want all these things to fail just because I'm annoyed that these types of things have failed in the past. I want them to do well. I want people to actually write things well. I want people to tell good stories that have a purpose, certainly stories that have morality behind them that you can learn through watching the stories, even if it's not overt in the stories, which hopefully especially is the case in Superman and in David.
Giant salamander monster's actually about how we should destroy all amphibians. That's the metaphor there.
That's the moral lesson that we're being taught. Okay.
Question mark?
So I'm very hopeful that these things are all going to turn out very well. But at the same time, I am going to go into these with lower standards just because, I'm going to learn from history. History has shown me that
going in with high standards, you get disappointed.
It's going to be disappointing.
Be at least mildly excited.
Yeah.
Is that why I feel so disappointed in myself?
You have such high standards, Oliver?
For myself, that I'm constantly disappointed in myself, yes.
You have such high standards.
No. We should all have good standards for ourselves.
We should not make our own standards. We should follow the Bible and have the Bible be our standards.
The Bible we have.
The Bible
which are our standards.
My standard is Superman.
Kirk, do we have any closing thoughts?
Well, just reiterating, excited about all of these movies. We'll see what happens.
Superman, let's go!
Superman, let's go!
Superman.
We will bring you guys updates as these come out, either through this SideQuest thing.
That'll be fun.
This is just going to be our fun things, whatever we want to talk about. Yeah. Kind of like the last section.
Scoop, guys, we got the scoop.
Kind of like the last section of our main Off the Record podcast is culture, and that can really just be a stand-in for whatever we want to talk about at the time.
Yeah.
This is kind of an extension of that, where we're going to talk about whatever we want to, and so as these movies come out, we'll probably talk about them a bit here. We'll probably talk about them a bit in the culture section of the main podcast. Our next podcast, give a sneak peek, will have Captain America.
Captain America Brave New World. I'm excited for all these projects. They have a ranging scale from probably being a 3 out of 10 to probably being a 10 out of 10. So we'll see.
I wonder which one you think is the 10 out of 10.
I have no idea. I'm not wearing anything that would make me biased whatsoever at all.
He's wearing a Superman shirt again, just like in the last episode.
Okay, on Saturdays, I'm leaking when we record. On Saturdays, I always wear a Superman shirt.
Good.
I need a Superman shirt now. I need to match your style.
You need to match me?
Yeah.
Okay, Chief. All right. Well, we here at SideQuests, an off-the-record offshoot, we bid ye adieu and hope that you are having a blessed week and a blessed day. So, good morning, good evening, and good night.
You're ripping it off again?
Yes.
Goodbye.